There's the door, Shannon Beador, because the door is now closed on her $75,000 lawsuit with John Janssen. We have Teresa Giudice, who is opening up about her feuds with Larsa Pippen, New York, and even Tamara Judge. And then we have the RHONY, Real Housewives of New York, mid-season trailer, which, I mean, I guess we should get into it, right? All right, let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Beador, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, mother. Sorry. YouTube doesn't let me curse in the first 5 minutes, so I have to refrain my explicit language for a couple more minutes in. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Happy Tuesday? Tuesday. Sydney says, or Anne the Queen says, how many times did you practice that? Oh, which one? My Sabrina Carpenter line or my there's the door, Shannon Beador? I had to practice it in the mirror. John Janssen was coaching me. And then I let him hit it from behind. JK. What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome on in. As always, thank you for the reviews. I see the trolls are back on what do you call it? The trolls are back in the Spotify ratings because they're like, oh, they dropped my rating down to a 4.1 from a 4.2. Ooh, what am I gonna do? Zack and Sabrina both smooth with it. Yeah, I'm gonna be Sabrina Carpenter's new surprise special guest. You know, she's doing her tour and then she has all these like surprise. Oh my god, it's Troye Sivan. Or was that the Troy and Charlie tour? Maybe not the Sabrina Carpenter tour. Didn't somebody just do this? Oh, Domingo was the surprise guest at Sabrina Carpenter's tour. Because remember, I don't know if you watched the Saturday Night Live skit with Ariana Grande, and instead of saying "It's me, espresso," they were saying "Oh, Domingo," and like it was like a bridesmaids thing, and they were doing a bridesmaids like dance for the bride. They were talking about like her hooking up with this guy. You have to watch this guy. But yeah, there you go. Caught you up to speed. So Domingo was at Sabrina Carpenter show. I may be next. You never know. You never know. You never know. I do want to give a couple more shout outs because you guys are leaving nice messages. And I just wanted to give you some love. So please continue to drop those ratings, drop those reviews. Well, don't drop them as in lower them, but like keep leaving them because I love when you guys leave them. This one comes from B-Ball-Sis. Zack, I've been a long-time listener and I always love your take on pop culture because you are able to perspective take, consider all angles, and put forth a very balanced, logical perspective. This week, talking about politics and the misrepresentation of things in the media and the fear baiting was so spot on, and it was refreshing to hear. I think it's so important to use your platform to promote logical, balanced, reasonable perspectives on politics, and I just want to let you know how much I appreciate it. It is very much needed in today's panic porn society. Love ya. Never change. Thank you, B-Ball Sis. I appreciate that. I do. I know it can be a little polarizing for some people, but I'ma still do me. I'ma do me, Lucius. I'ma do me. Sharon says, how can you not give a good review? Listen, I get dragged every other day. I'm glad that like I have a thick skin. I was looking at some of the tweets online about me. Like one person was like taking old pictures of me from like when I was fat growing up in like high school. And they were like, oh, because of like the RFK stuff, because I've like been supportive of RFK. And they're like, oh, were you fat and ugly because, you know, a vaccine did this to you because you like RFK? And I was like, ooh, I think we need to like, you know, maybe go to therapy, maybe get some probiotics. And then somebody else like took like an old photo of like my dead grandma and they put like a speech bubble over her that says like, you know, I voted for Harris and my grandson is a disappointment. I was like, oh, not to bring my dead grandma into it. Let her rest in peace. I love her. And also, I can guarantee you she would not have voted for Harris. But, you know, I was just like, joke's on you. It's weird that, like, I've become so desensitized to that sort of stuff, but I was just like, "Oh, that's funny." Um, it is what it is. Oh, Kenny G. Kenny G says, "Hi, Zach, made a lot." Hi, Kenny G. Kenny G's been a member for 14 months. Let's get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Sharon says, "I don't agree with everything you say, but you give good food for thought, and I appreciate." Listen, dialogue is important, right? We're allowed to have our differences and still be good, all good, as Teresa Giudice would say. Make sure you're good. Make sure you got yourself good. Did you see that cameo of her where somebody was like, "Teresa, I don't know what to do. My friend has like an STD." And she's like, "Well, first go to the doctor. Make sure you're good. Make sure it's all good." So, yeah. Alyssa says, "Praise you for your open-mindedness in politics. Love watching." Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Listen, I try. I try. And I try. And I try. I can't get no. Da-na-na. A. Sydney says, "Completely agree. Dialogue is important. I appreciate the respect your show when we do disagree on something." Yeah. Listen, it's okay to disagree. We just have to respect each other and understand that sometimes we see the world differently. You see it from this lens, I see it from that lens, and it's okay. That doesn't make me good and you evil, or you good and me evil. We just see things differently, and this is just the vibe. Mimir says, "I'm loving the touch of salt and pepper in your hair. Very refined and debonair." Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, let's start with the RHONY trailer because I feel like that's the least interesting to look at. So we're just gonna start there before we skip on over to the Teresa and the Shannon Beador stuff. But the RHONY midseason trailer dropped. It definitely makes the season look a lot better. Bethenny also dropped another TikTok video, and I'm just like, yo, why are you so obsessed with me? Like I talk about these topics every day. So like, yeah, I'm going to talk about it every day, but like for Bethenny to like keep going back and be like, "The show is awful. It's garbage. It's a piece of trash. Bring back Ramona, bring back Luann, bring back Sonia, bring back Dorinda." Like she didn't give a shit about them before. And now that she's like really trying to go out there and be like, "Go RHONY," I'm just like, shut up, you know? Um, she's just annoying sometimes. But there was somebody that recirculated a clip from Danny Pellegrino's show, and Danny Pellegrino was saying that, or he wasn't saying, he was interviewing Luann, and she was saying that the thing with Bethenny is that when she like doesn't have relevance, she comes back to Housewives. Like she shits on Housewives when she has something else going on, and then when that something else ends up flopping or going under, then she ends up pivoting back to Housewives. And so it's funny because it kind of seems like that's what she's doing now. Now that everyone's on this hate train for the new RHONY reboot, she's jumping on that train and like trying to defend Luann and Sonia and Rona and Dorinda when she didn't really care about them and doesn't really seem to like them in general. And so it just seems like Bethany's clinging on to anything that'll help make her stay relevant. Because listen, the reality is, if the RHONY reboot had been good, Bethenny would have been like, "See, that's why I left Housewives, because it was too toxic. Like it wasn't real anymore. We need real women and we need real representation. And that's why the RHONY reboot is so good. I'm glad that I left it. I'm glad that it's in my past because I was just so beyond that." And clearly the audience was beyond that too. And clearly the audience was with me. And you need to know, you don't want to be the last one standing at the party. And she would have gone on some unhinged rant about how she left because she saw the ship sinking. I know yesterday I went on my whole tangent about how I think she's the one that helped sink the ship. Like she's the one that threw the first hole in the ship before it hit the iceberg and went under. I'll call Ebony K. Williams the iceberg that killed RHONY. But Bethenny definitely didn't make it easy. She poked some holes at the bottom of the foundation that like started to help it sink. And then Ebony came in and boom, the iceberg hit. The Titanic went under. It's just, I, you know, it's very unhinged. I agree with the live chat. It is very, very unhinged. But so the trailer came out, and the trailer shows us this upcoming cast trip to Puerto Rico, and it's building up this cast trip so big as if there's this big, massive fight that I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping that, this whatever bombshell fight between Uba and Bryn happens. I'm hoping it's not a flop. I'm hoping, they're just I feel like they're building it up a little too much. That to me, I'm afraid that it might not land as well because there's nothing else in the show. People are like, it's like pulling teeth trying to get through the current season just to make it to the Puerto Rico trip. Then I feel like they're going to drag the Puerto Rico trip out as much as they can. But like, we don't see much of Jenna Lyons. We don't see much of Raquel, the new girl. We don't see, we just keep seeing these clips of like Aaron fighting about something and then these clips between Uba and Bryn. And they're going back and forth. But then it's annoying because then they're like, cameras down, cameras down. I'm not filming this. You can't film my life. This is not for the cameras. It's like, well, then what is for the cameras? You're on a fucking reality show. What is for the cameras? If not your life, if not your fights with other, if you don't want to show us your life and you want to show us only the conflicts between you and the other women, then like, why are we shutting down the cameras? You know, it's just dumb, 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 dumb. Michelle says everything with Bryn is so staged that I feel like it can't possibly be anything good. I don't know. I've stopped watching. Dan says I watch. It has been pretty boring, and I do not like the new additions. I think Bryn is stirring the pot, trying to make Jenna relevant. Maybe. Russ says, didn't we hear that this cast trip ended the season early? Yes. I don't think that early, though. I think it was maybe by like a matter of days or weeks. Kenzie says, why does Jenna get away with not sharing anything? Because she's Jenna fucking Lyons. Remember, she says in her opening tagline, which I don't really understand what the, point of that was. Elisa says, who the hell is Ebony? Like you, I think many of us wish we could have, shelved that chapter and just pretended it didn't happen. Stupid's back in the live chat today. Stupid says, they could make a show about all the piss puddles in New York subways and it would be more interesting. Jasmine says, I love Sia. My husband now gets concerned when I say it every episode. You love Sia. Sia is in the singer. Hang from the chandelier, the chandelier, the chandelier. Watch you swing from the chandelier. Sigh. She meant sigh. I know, but she said Sia. And I was like, you know, I've got thick skin and an elastic heart. Sai's fine, right? She's always hungry. She's fine. But she's like an influencer. So even her life is also very curated. It just feels like, and to Camille Grammer's tweet the other day about how like Housewives has become too woke, I think people are afraid. And trust me, like I said, a lot of the Housewives, some of them that are currently on the shows we watch now, a lot of them are like, we can't really be ourselves. Like, we can't be honest. We can't be authentic. We have to stay off social media because if we do one wrong thing or we say one wrong thing, like, remember the days on the early RHONY. Remember when Luann like went to the school? She went to like a middle school and she was like teaching them. And then this one girl's like, oh, I want to be a model. And she's just like, you want to be a model? She's like, oh, well, honey, losing weight is the easy part because the girl was a little hefty. And she was like, losing weight is the easy. Could you imagine if that scene like aired today? Oh my God. The people on X would be like, oh, or no, all the sensitive Sallys, they left X. Now what are they on Blue Sky? I can't do another social media app. I can't. I'm not getting on Blue. I got on Blue Sky. I signed up for it just to steal the handle so that nobody else could steal it. Said it's my name and I have it. But like dumb. Truly dumb. But like that was the fun. Those were the fun times. When she was telling the little girl that like losing weight is the easy part because it's like the reason we fell in love with them is because we wanted to like see people that were aloof and crazy and said things that were. I think that's why the audience I think likes Jessel a lot on the new RHONY because Jessel is the most like the most um what? Oh, sorry, there was an OC party that I was invited to that just got canceled. The Bravo just canceled. I wasn't gonna go anyway. But yeah, Jessel is she's like kind of out of touch and she's like not in reality, and that's, I think, what people like. They're not relatable. Thank you, Shelly. That's the juxtaposition is people are like, housewives should be relatable and they should represent everybody and it should be so diverse and blah, blah, blah. And then like you force it into what the audience is saying it should be. And then now, that's look at what it's become. It's become too forced. It's become too safe. Like we're all on eggshells and we don't want to show our lives and we don't want to put our relationship out there because then we're afraid that our relationship is going to crumble. When it's like reality TV, we've ruined reality TV. The fans have ruined reality. I was talking with the casting producer this morning actually, and we were saying that like we were having a good conversation about how when you cast people that are curated, right? Because they're like, we want business women. We want to show the diversity of New York. We want younger women. Like when you're casting people to fit a mold, then you're not casting people because they're entertaining. You're casting people to hit the benchmarks, right? To hit the notes. Do the ratings say, oh, what are the, oh, hold on. Hold on, Shell. Let me pull up the ratings. Jesus. Um, let's see. Let's see what the ratings were for New York. In New York. Oh, okay. Last week was the season high for New York. Wow, they actually had a good rating, 359,000. Oh, but that was the prank episode that everybody hated. See, but their demo is not doing well. They have a 0.09 in the 18 to 49 demo, which means the people that are watching them are not really the key demo that they want. So um even though Salt Lake City is kind of on par, it's not too far ahead of RHONY, they are ranking a little higher in their core demo, which I think is better. Whereas like OC is bringing in over 500,000 viewers and they have a 0.13 in the demo, whereas New York has a 0.9. But their ratings prior to that were not very strong. Why did people tune in this week? I wonder if it was because of the midseason trailer that helps. Something enticed people to tune in. I don't know what it was, but something. I mean, did anybody watch it this last week? Last week, yeah, not this week, but last week. Did you watch it and why did you watch it? I didn't watch it, but it seems like there was a bump in the ratings because prior to that, they were steadily in the 200,000s. Yeah. They had a series low, and then the next week they had a series high. I mean, it's not like the ratings were all that, but Sydney says most people do watch the next day on Peacock. I actually don't think that that's true. I know people try to make that argument, but I think maybe OC and Salt Lake City are performing better on Peacock. I don't think people are watching RHONY that much more on Peacock, to be honest with you. I think they're probably down across the board. People do seem to be hate watching it though. Shelly says, I like RHONY, but I am a fan, but I didn't like the prank. Yeah, see, so if they got this bump in the ratings and people watched for that terrible episode with the prank, that was not the episode to hook people, right? There's not going to be much audience retention after that because then didn't it end on a to be continued? Who's going to be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to tune into next week when get more into the prank with Rebecca Minkoff being pregnant. Kenzie said, I wish you watched Salt Lake so I could hear you talk about Bronwyn and her hubby. I watched Salt Lake. Bronwyn and her hubby are, ugh. It's giving Tom Girardi vibes from back in the day. It was funny. I saw Erica was doing interviews. Erica was giving interviews for the new season, and I forgot who it was. Someone asked her, like, what's the difference between Erica going into this season and Erica her first season? And she's like, well, I was rich then and I'm not now. I thought that was funny. Okay, let's talk about here. There's the door, Shannon Beador. Since we talked about OC ratings, let's divvy on over to OC. I did see some of the clips from OC where they show more of the Shannon versus Alexis drama. And it seems like Alexis is like really digging her heels in. And I just don't think Alexis is looking good at this reunion at all. But the lawsuit. So it appears that they have reached a settlement. They've found some middle ground. There was a new court doc that was released by Bravo and Cocktails. Shout out to Bravo and Cocktails. It was a notice of settlement. It looks like they were supposed to have an upcoming hearing date on November 22nd. So within a couple of days, they were supposed to go to court. Remember, they both wanted to put it before a jury. Well, something happened, and it looks like they've decided to settle. We don't know what the settlement amount is for, but it looks like there will no longer be a jury. There will no longer be a trial. There will no longer be anything because now John Janssen has agreed to settle with Shannon Beador. I'm assuming it's probably the 70,000, and I'm assuming it's with the non-disparagement agreement. It was a mutual non-disparagement, which means they both would come out of the settlement not talking about the settlement and not talking about each other, right? They're not going to say anything negative about each other anymore ever. I think for her it was more of like, I don't want to be gagged and not be able to talk about him if he's going to still be able to talk about me, and then he has these videos on me, and then it feels like extortion. So, but it's interesting because in the clip from this week's reunion for OC, Alexis Bellino goes back and forth and she's like, "You didn't even want to settle with him. You were going to make payments over time. You were going to give him like 15,000. You were going to make all these payments to John and you weren't just going to pay him his money back." And then Emily was like, "Well, yeah, that's kind of how you repay a loan is in payments. You typically take out a loan and then make payments. And in some cases, there's interest if the payment is not made within a certain time frame. You know, so just cuckoo crazy, but good. Um, the terms are going to be confidential, so we're not going to know what the settlement was for, but I am assuming it was probably for the 70,000 and probably with the mutual non-disparagement. That would be my prediction. We'll never know what the actual settlement was for. But at this point, like, good for them. I feel like if John really wanted it to be done, he would have settled with this before. I'm pretty sure Shannon, like, because here's the thing, dropping 70K, like, that's a lot, right? That's a lot to just drop into the bucket. If you have to slowly pay that back, I don't think Shannon buckled. I think John Janssen buckled. I think he saw the way that this was coming across. I think, and he's so big on his ego. I think and listen, if Shannon and John can't talk about each other, that doesn't necessarily mean that Alexis can't talk about Shannon. So I'm pretty sure John will sign the non-disparagement so that he can't say anything, but he'll get Alexis to say it. The same way that Alexis came and talked about the videos, these confidential videos that John has on um, Shannon and her being drunk. So I think Alexis will continue to be John Janssen's mouthpiece. I know Shannon has already said that she has no interest in filming with Alexis moving forward. Not surprised. We'll see if she ends up moving forward with if Bravo decides to move forward with Alexis and bring them back. Alexis will go in hard, probably knowing that Shannon can't talk about it anymore. But Shannon's made it clear. She's like, she's interested in still returning to the show. She's not interested, however, in having anything to do with Alexis. So it just seems she'll avoid her and not engage. I don't know if that is a good thing necessarily. It's always, it's always tough because, like, I don't know. When people don't engage, but they're on the same show together, like, it's just annoying. So we'll see. Very similar to like Ariana avoiding Tom Sandoval on Vanderpump Rules. Like that was also annoying. We'll have to wait and see what ends up coming from all of this. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. And while we're waiting to see, I hope you got your holiday list ready and that credit card ready to shop. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible handpicked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that it's exactly what I wanted feeling. We love that. My favorite part of gift giving is when you give someone, I don't really care to get gifts from other people because sometimes I'm like, they didn't put enough thought into this, and I like very thoughtful gifts. So that's why when I buy gifts, I like them to be meaningful. I like them to be thoughtful. I like them to be like, oh, you bought this because it was just tailored for me. You know me, you see me, right? And I like to see their face when they open the gift and they're like, wow, I feel seen. That's why I like Uncommon Goods, is because they scour the globe for original, handmade, and absolutely remarkable things. Somehow they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person that you know. Listen, I'm this sweater that I'm wearing right now, the Dog Father, is from Uncommon Goods. So you can get fun gifts for yourself. You can get fun gifts for pretty much everyone on your list. I mean, I can't think of one person you probably wouldn't be able to find a good gift for. From holiday host and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from book lovers and diehard sports fans, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. So it's not the same old selections that you can find just anywhere. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade in the US. They have the most meaningful and out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. And even better, they have gifts that you can personalize. To get 15% off your next gift, go right now to uncommongoods.com/no filter. That's uncommongoods.com/no filter for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Okay. Laura says that sweater does look comfy. It is comfy. It's so comfy. And like people see me. People love when I wear this one, or from my merch line, I have my Zack Packs hoodie. Because when I'm walking the dogs, people are like, "Oh, the dog father, and you're walking the dogs," or "Oh, the Zack Pack. This is your Zack Pack." I'm like, "Yep, this is my Zack Pack right here. Me and the two blondies, Sully and Sky." we'll see. We shall see. Pamela says that sweater is cute. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. Uncommon Goods. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Sharon says, "Are you going to have a Zack Pack sweatshirt?" I have the Zack Pack hoodies, which, by the way, we're gonna have. There's new merch that's literally gonna drop any day, so stay tuned for that announcement. I'm supposed to be getting some samples before it goes on sale. So. Do they make fairy dog mother hoodie? I want one of those. Well, go on the site and check it out. Uncommongoods.com/no filter. Any new merch coming out? Yes, Kenny G. I love my Zack Pack hoodie. Kenny G, take a picture and send it to me, or post it on Instagram and tag me so I can repost and share it. Okay, Teresa Giudice. Teresa Giudice. Remember, she was Giudice for like a hot second. What was when she was on Celebrity Apprentice? She was Teresa Giudice, and then now she's just back to being Teresa Giudice. Well, I guess now she's technically Teresa Ruelas. Is that her legal name? Did she legally change it, or did I just fall out of a coconut tree? Um, I don't know. But she was on Watch What Happens Live, and I think, everyone was very excited to see her because she's on House of Villains right now, and House of Villains, as I said yesterday, is really good. It's just fun. It's mindless TV. You don't have to invest heavily in it, but it's kind of zany and kind of quirky, and it's fun. Where all do you go live? I go live here on YouTube. I've tested out going live on TikTok a couple of times. I don't know if you guys are interested in TikTok lives. I haven't done an Instagram live in a while. We always used to do Instagram lives. Those were always fun. We always had a good time when we would do our Instagram lives. Um, Maybe I should get back to doing more Insta lives. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You know how many times I tell my dogs that every day? Yeah. But Teresa, she was on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't realize Teresa and Tamara have beef. Why do Teresa and Tamara have beef? I know Teresa and Larsa, their foundation got a little rocky on House of Villains because Larsa became super villain, which means she was the one that got to put 3 of the other contestants up on the chopping block. And Teresa, she ended up putting Teresa on the chopping block, even though they were thick as thieves. She put Teresa on the chopping block because she was saying that, she wanted the house to know that even though she and Teresa are both from the Housewives, that there's not like some secret alliance that she'll put anybody up and she'll throw anyone under the bus. Like she wanted to make sure like people knew she was a formidable opponent, which to me kind of sounds like maybe the producers pushed her to do that. But Larsa was the super villain, and she put up Teresa and she put up Vicky. Which did we see who ended up House of Bill? Let's see who got eliminated. It may have been Teresa. But so she ends up, Teresa has beef with Larsa. Teresa has beef with New York. And then Teresa also apparently has beef with Tamara. I'm not entirely sure where the beef with Tamara started from. I think because Tamara talks crap about Teresa on her podcast, Teresa even said, like, yeah, I texted her the other day, like, why keep my name out of your mouth? Like, why are you talking about me? Why are you talking about me? You know. Let's see. Season 2, who's been oh, yes. So, oh, Larsa's on the hit list. Who was banned? Okay, last week. So we saw Larissa was banished the first week, and then the second week it was Richard, and then Camilla just got banished. Sorry, guys. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Um, but so yeah, if you're caught up to speed, then you know that um, Teresa was up on the chopping block in the this last week. She was up against, was it Camilla or was it against Vicky? TBA. Okay, so we don't know yet who is going to be banished. Candy is now the supervillain, right? Candy's the supervillain. Oh, and on the hit list are Safari, Larsa, and Victoria. Okay, because last week it was Camilla, Teresa, and Victoria. And Teresa got to stay because Larsa put her up. That's right, that's right, that's right. I was catching up on it over the weekend. So. What's going on? So. Larsa is in danger. Well, Teresa said on Watch What Happens Live that her and Larsa are in a better place, even though Larsa put her up for elimination because she was like, it would have been bad if I got eliminated, but I didn't get it. Larsa's strategy was a little interesting because she was like, I want to make sure that people know that, like, you know, we're our own people and we're not in this Housewives alliance. It's like, okay, well, I guess that kind of makes sense, right? But then it's like, but no, but then what if, but she was like trying to convince Teresa that she was absolutely safe and that nobody was going to eliminate her. But then it's like, you can't really make that guarantee. And then they sent home Camilla. And I didn't think Camilla was a great player. She wasn't very good on House of Villains. But I also did kind of appreciate how she's like, I'm here because I'm a mom and I need to win this to feed my kids. It's 200K on the line. And I could use 200K right now. Which I like that at least this House of Villains thing, like we're showing that not all these people are wealthy. Like someone like Larsa obviously doesn't need the extra 200K. Teresa apparently is still paying off her Joe Giudice debt. She hasn't fully paid it off yet. Little by little, she's playing it. Stupid says that if you try to play neutral, you will end up with no allies in the end. That is true. Jasmine says, "Oh, I love it in the first episodes having all the villains hooked my mother-in-law." It is good, you know, if you enjoy like those old school reality shows, like the old VH1 days. This is fun. New York is great television. New York, she's just good TV. Teresa's good TV. Teresa's kind of like she's funny. Everyone's making fun of her because she was using instead of saying breath of fresh air, she was saying fresh of breath air. She was like, Jesse, fresh of breath air. Safari, fresh of breath air. And then they're like, do you mean breath of fresh air? And so everyone's saying, I was looking at TikTok. Now, ever since I started watching her cooking videos, now all I have are Teresa videos. And everyone's like, oh, I love her. She's such a she's such a fresh of breath air. Teresa, fresh of breath air. Jasmine says, or BH1 around that time, I found the internet. Yeah, that was the best time. More naked Jesse, please. Jesse is hot. I will say, okay, can we settle this debate? Because obviously we have the House of Villains and we have Jesse. And Jesse's very like pecked up and you know, he's Mr. Pectacular and he's hot, right? But I kind of am leaning more towards Wes. Like who do we or Safari? Like who of the remaining three, Jesse, Safari, Wes. I think I'm gonna go with Wes. There's something about him that just is like, it's kind of rugged, it's kind of douchey, and like, you know, he doesn't have like a perfect body, and I don't like a perfect body. So to me, he's like just the right amount of rugged and just the right amount of like cute that it kind of like Jesse's a little too attractive. He's a little too perfect, right? His oiled up body and his pecs and his abs, and it's too much for me. And I don't need all that, you know? Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Wes. I'm gonna go with Wes. But let me know. Leave a comment and let me know who you think is the real hottie in the House of Villains. Who are you bagging in the House of Villains? Kenzie says Wes has always been sexy, right? Like, I just think, listen, West is my fresh of breath air. That's what I'll say. He's my fresh of breath air. He's my give me no air and choke me out. I'm Wes all day. Where's Wes from? I'm not entirely sure. He's on my new hit list. He's on my new hot list. I'll say that. Marianne Stout says, what I don't understand, if Louis has all this money and loves her so much, then why hasn't he paid off the tax lien? Where did the money go from the sale of her house? Well, she's paying stuff off. I'm sure. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't want to die. I'm not going to pop her love bubble, Mary. Okay. I'm not going to pop that love bubble. Pamela says, he's not doughy enough for Zack. No, Jesse's too pecked up. He's too chiseled. I like him a little doughy, right? I like, I don't need a perfect body. I like a little doughy. Jasmine says, yes, Wes, the challenge show is a nice marshmallow man. Is he a marshmallow man? I don't know. He's from the real world? Sounds like Zach's perfect type. Wes? Because he's just a little, a little swag, 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 swag. Let me see if I can find his Instagram. What's his name? Wes from. Oh, he's on the challenge. Wes Bergman. Let's see. Okay, here's his Instagram. Did I find his Instagram? Did I find this correctly? He's a fresh of breath air. He's just like a cutie. Oh, he has kids? And a wife? What? Rude. It's okay. That's never stopped me before. A spouse has never gotten in my way in the past, and I will not allow it to get in my way now. See, he gives, I mean, I don't love like the mustache, or not the mustache, the beard. The beard isn't like my favorite. What do they call that? A flavor saver? Um, it's not my favorite. But like the arms, and he's just kind of like burrowy. He's like, Jax's busted. He's my breath of fresh air. Fresh of breath air. That's Zach's tagline. What is my tagline? Fresh of breath air. Yeah. We are all heartbroken out. Listen, a spouse doesn't mean anything these days, okay? Just ask Teddy Mellencamp. That was shady. I do love Teddy. Teddy, I'm sorry. That was a low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. Zactivated chaos, right? Marianne Stout says, yes, Kenzie, especially when the body is steroids made. Yeah, I don't love a steroidy kind of body. It's not my vibe, but like, I mean, come on. Look at Wes. Tell me you don't want to sit in his lap, cuddle up with him in those big old arms. Look at, he even drinks a whole bottle of wine. That's my kind of guy. A bottle of wine a night. Oh, look at adorable. He's got a total dad bod. Love a dad bod. Oh, it looks like he used to be really ripped back in the day. He's not like not ripped. He's got a decent body. Wow, look at his arms. Breath of fresh air. Fresh of breath air. Okay, there we go. There we go. Sold. Wes as a sexy Santa, his wife must be happy. Yeah. Marianne Stout says, wow, come for you, Zach, Teddy will. No, she won't. Teddy and I are good. We won't. Wes from Arkansas. See, I love a good, like, middle America kind of guy, right? A good meat and potatoes kind of guy. Grrr, grrr. Give me some grit. Give me some her. Some her. Pamela says, not a Ginger fan, but he seems nice. I don't want nice. I want you to like choke me a bit in bed, So yeah, there we go. That's my Teresa talk. That's my House of Villains talk. That's my Shannon Beador talk. That's my RHONY rant. RHONY rant of the day. Tiffany said, "You would love my hubby, Zack." Tiffany, don't tempt me. Don't tempt. Sydney said, "Oh, he's 40." Listen, 40 is the perfect. I'm 31. I think 40 to 45 is like my perfect ideal range. I don't mind like 35 and above. Um, I don't want anybody younger than me ever. Like it's just, not my vibe. I'm not into younger. I'm more of a daddy chaser. Not like daddy, like old man, right? But like I think 40 to 45 is kind of like the sweet spot, you know? I don't mind guys in their 30s. I just feel like when they hit that 40 spot, they're a little more settled, right? A little more established. So, anything else you guys are watching that we need to add to the roster? Feeding me pasta and lobster. Mm, mm, mm. Do we have anything else? And there's nothing really good right now. Michelle says you like an experienced Muppet man. Yeah, that I do. That I do. Oh, Allie says Wes is a great leprechaun, like a sexy leprechaun, right? Like a leprechaun that became a man. Like he was Pinocchio and then he became a man. That's what Wes is. Wes is the leprechaun that became a man. And I'm here for it. I'm hoping to get lucky. Take me to that pot of gold. Let me ride that rainbow to his pot of gold. Who's your daddy, Zach? Would you like to meet my father? People think my father's cute. Like anytime I post like old photos of like when I was little, people are like, "Oh wow, your dad's hot, Zach." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they tell me I look like him, which I know I look like him. I do look a lot like him actually. Um, Lucky Charms. Yeah, I'll pull out all the Lucky Charms. Marshmallows and all. That's what makes Lucky Charms so great is the marshmallows. Until RFK comes and cleans up the Lucky Charms. That's what I'm here for. Let's come. RFK, let's get it, baby. Can't wait. Pamela says, Zach wants those Lucky Charms. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Jen says, Grand Cayman has hot guys. Got it. Okay, cool. I'll be sure to add that to my bucket list of places to visit. Just Me says, ugh, my friends had a crush on my dad and that grossed me out. It is kind of weird, right? Like crushing on parents. My parents were young, so, like, even my mom was always the young mom that would come to everything, so, like, everyone was like, "That's your mom? Wow," everyone thought I had, like, a hot mom. Listen, neither of my parents are ugly. They're actually both, like, good-looking people, and I just say that in, like, an, observative way, as, like, an observation, because 'cause I'm not, like, crushing on my parents, but, like, objectively, a lot of people have told me that they were attracted to each of my parents. So, you know. Jen says Grand Cayman is a show with hot dudes and drama. I had a blast. What is Grand Cayman? What? What is Grand Cayman? And why are there hot dudes? Stupid says my dad is ugly and in prison. Well, you know, I don't know how I actually, listen, you've stumped Matt Rife. I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know how to react to that. What a, lovely shareable moment. Luciana says, do you think the viewership is lower on Real Housewives because they have lost their original luster and people have moved on to other types of reality shows? Yes, I do think that that's a big part of it for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jasmine says, all my friends' parents were like, wow, nobody had a hot dad or a hot stepdad or a hot stepmom. Huh. Allie says, well, you're rather dashing, so of course you have attractive parents. And Pamela says, nobody likes my dad, thank goodness. My mom was a groupie, so maybe the boys liked her, but they never told me that, thank goodness. Oh, I love that everyone's just like, yeah, my parents are ugly. My mom's a troll. My mom has a peg leg. My dad's missing an eye and he's in prison. This is a fun show and tell, guys. Thank you for sharing. Uh, yeah. Oh, Sydney has a plot twist. She said, "My mom was hot as hell, but she passed very young, sadly." Okay, guys. All right, we're not talking about our ugly parents anymore. Ugly parents, dead parents. Michelle says, my parents are ruthless, but not toothless. That's nice. You know, Jasmine said her dad is in prison and missing a leg, a peg leg, and a missing eye. So far. Well, that's what everyone's saying. The only one that had a hot mom, her mom died. Which, by the way, there was this story that I saw. I was going to save this for the pop report, but it's actually too good. This YouTuber, Rosanna Pansino, we'll still talk about it on the pop report, but Rosanna Pansino, her father died. And so one of his final wishes was that she smokes his ashes. So she smoked her dead father's ashes, which is so weird and so bizarre and so cuckoo crazy. Like, what? Like, literally, what? It's just the wildest headline that I came across. And I was like, why is she smoking her dead dad? Like, that's also just kind of like weird. Here, let me pull up the actual headline. YouTuber Rosanna Pansino has paid tribute to her dad in a very unconventional way. The 39-year-old internet personality who was more than 16 million subscribers. Wow, that's a lot of subscribers. On YouTube, honored her father by smoking a joint with marijuana using his ashes during the first episode of her Ridiculous podcast. Smoking my dead dad. That's so weird. He was referred to as Papa Pizza. He died after having leukemia for 6 years. Wow. Wow. My dad currently has myeloma, which is similar to leukemia, but it's in the blood plasma. Maybe I should smoke his ashes when he passes away. Okay, this is taking a real dark turn. Sorry, I make up grief with humor. That's the only way I know how to grieve and heal. Mary Ann Stout says, isn't that cannibalism? I don't know. Tiffany said, well, it's not cannibalism if you don't inhale. Well, how else are you supposed to smoke if you don't inhale? I think you mean ingest. If you don't ingest it, then it's not cannibalism. Well, he's dead. What does it matter at this point? I said, it is kind of cannibalistic, right? Right? That's so weird. It's so bizarre to me. We are all lighting up in remembrance of Sydney's hot mom. Sydney's mom has got it going. Sydney's mom has got it going on. Sydney's mom, I like her and it's so wrong. Sydney's mom, babe, can't you see? You're the one for me. I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Sydney's mom. See, I have that good like 2004 rocker voice. I can't sing Adele, but I could do Sydney's mom has got it going on. I know it's so wrong. Mary Duda says, I would let Army Hammer bite me dead or alive. Yeah, I agree. That like I'm not into cannibalism, but like for Army Hammer, like I could be curious, you know? Like nibble on I'll let him nibble on a rib. Just a little bit, you know? Just to say I tried it. Sydney, okay. Now this song I can get with. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Bernice Smith, she smoked her dad. And not in like a, we raced and I smoked his ass. No, she like literally smoked his ass in a joint. That's just weird. Hold on, I need to keep reading this article. My dad was a badass and quite a little rebel, and I will be following in his footsteps, like father, like daughter. So to start this episode, I want to tell you guys about my dad's dying wish. Before he passed, he told me and my mom what he would like us to do with his ashes. She said that her mom was hesitant at first, feeling people would judge them because of how hippie she was. But as time has gone on, and it's been 5 years now. Oh, he's been dead. These are 5-year-old ashes. Aren't they a little stale now? We just really think that it's the right time to do what dad wanted and to honor him the way he wanted. He told her and her mom to take his ashes, mix it with some soil, and grow a marijuana plant and smoke him. Oh, that's different. That's different. Okay. Talk about bearing the lead. Okay. Um, the ashes were mixed in some dirt, some soil, and they used his ashes to grow the marijuana plant and then smoked the marijuana plant. So they didn't actually put his ashes in the joint. They put his ashes in the soil to grow the plant. That's way different. Kenzie said, okay, I can get on board with that. Very, very different. Very different. Now it makes sense. Yeah, because that would have been so weird if she was legit smoking her father's ashes, which in a way, yes, she is, but like not in the way that we thought. Okay, the story gets better. Remember, guys, it gets better. Allie says, you can't smoke everyone's strain. Yeah. Michelle says, now that's a very different visual. Yep. Roll me and smoke me, I'm gone. Roll one, smoke one. We all just having fun. Roll one, smoke one. We all just having fun. Mm-mm. Would you smoke your dad? I don't know. What a time to be alive, right? Puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff. But also, why wait so long to smoke them? Why not put them in the marijuana plant sooner? Like, I was like, oh, they waited 5 years because, like, that was a weird thing to do, is just smoke your father. Now, it's not the case. All right. Well, Janelle, that's all I got for you guys. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will talk to you later. Okay. Love you. Appreciate you. Give me a follow at Just Plain Zack all over the internet. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. Be sure to check out Uncommon Goods at uncommongoods.com/nofilter to fulfill all of your holiday shopping needs. Get 15% off with code NOFILTER at uncommongoods.com/nofilter. There you go. Give me a follow, like I said, at Just Plain Zack. If you want to keep up with me personally, or if you want the latest from the podcast, you can always follow on Instagram at No Filter with Zack. Don't smoke your parents. Make sure that you're, oh, somebody said Taco Tuesday. Jen said Tequila Tuesday. Now I want some tacos. That sounds quite delicious. Give me some tacos. Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me, quick jump out, but you let it get inside of me. Tell me, put it never tell me where I'm bad at me. Talk your shit, bite your lip. Ask for a car, but you ride that dick. You really ain't never got a fucking bar. Thank. He already made his mind up before. Okay. Yeah. Sydney's mom has got it going on. Sydney's mom, I know that it's so wrong. Baby, can't you see? You're just not the one for me. I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Stacy's mom. Or sorry, Sydney's mom. But she's dead. Well, thanks for ruining the mood, stupid. Bye, guys.